Seems to be pumping up. Let's pump it up.
Yeah, we're there.
Pump it up. Oh, let's see. I definitely want to change my view to this.
Hello.
Hey, I think we're good. I think we are live. Hi, everybody. We are live with the Lila and Elle show after a little bit of technical difficulties, which if you do anything online, know is a possibility, right, Lila?
Absolutely. When we have online businesses, we have online solutions and we have online problems.
Yes, for those of you whose Zoom crashed yesterday, I was about to work with a client and Zoom said, you do not have an account. Right? Like, wow, I've been with you guys for a long time. So, but we always have ways of making things work. So we are on here live today with a very special episode of the Lila and Elle show. What are we going to talk about today, Lila?
All things accountability.
Related.
That's real sexy, right?
Yeah. Right.
All things accountability. That's it. That's it. That's all I got for you, baby. No, we'll talk about all things accountability, which basically means what is accountability, right? Why is it important? You know, why do we even care about accountability? And then Elle and I are going to give you some tools today, some really powerful tools that each one of us have used in our own lives, in our own businesses, in our own experiences and relationships everywhere, to get further faster, basically. Accountability is, you know, one of the ways that we can get further faster to where we want to go in life. So we don't have to do it all by ourselves, right? So today is all about what is accountability, you know, why do we even want it? I just gave you one reason. And then some tools to integrate into your own life around accountability.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah. So I would ask you, Elle, like, how would you define accountability, or maybe more importantly, like what I'm more interested in, honest, maybe the audience, is when did you start to like tap into the concept of accountability? Like how long have you been doing accountability stuff? Yeah.
That's a really great question. I was pondering it when we decided this would be our topic. And I had to go back to when I was quite young and started to play. So I'm a violinist and I started to play in quartets. So 4 people. And when you're little, I was like, I don't know, 11, 12 years old, and starting to perform in small group in quartets, where we were meeting outside of like anything normal, school related, anything normal that way. And you better show up, and you better show up on time, and you better have your part ready. And, you know, because we can't waste time. We don't have time to waste. It was something extra to be doing on top of everything else we were doing. So that was kind of my first experience being accountable to others in a really serious way, because in a quartet, you're each playing your own part. It's not like you're in an orchestra with a bunch of people playing your part. You're all by yourself. So you have to come prepared with your stuff and integrate in with the people that you're with. So that was my first reflection. The other thing, and I think Lila, you have some of this too, and probably you have this on the other side of the screen, a little bit of, I can do this and I can do this all by myself and I'm really independent and I'm going to work really hard on this and I'm going to get this done. And for so much of our schooling, all of our grades are that way. It's on our own personal achievement. So the second place where I really felt a great kind of like a huge deal about accountability was when I was in grad school in 2 ways. First of all, I was doing a business degree and a music degree. In the business degree, most of our grades in a lot of our courses were group project grades. That was the first time that I was getting something like that other than orchestra. But it was like, oh, wow, this is, you know, I'm really dependent on these other people. We have to be accountable to each other because it's a group grade. That was huge change for me. And then again, it was an outside activity. Outside of all of this, I studied theory, music theory, with a private teacher, and she would pair us up. So she chose who our accountability partner would be. And we had to meet weekly and practice together. It was a very specific thing we had to do, but that took a lot of effort. I mean, I was working 2 jobs, doing 2 degrees, and I have to find time to meet with this person and spend like an hour and a half with them. So those were like big times for accountability. Then fast forward, you and I, we started our own businesses, and you know, I had an accountability partner right from day one with the coach that we were both working with. His name's Tim. Tim is fantastic, and
We love Tim.
We love Tim. Tim Felmer. Cheers to Tim. Tim and I have been accountability partners for, wow, almost 4 years. 4 years? 2016, 4.5 years. And so we talk weekly. Every Monday at 10:30, we talk for 20 minutes. Very specific. If we go beyond that, we usually ask permission. But for 20 minutes, and we hold each other accountable for very specific things. So that was kind of my first experience having a real accountability partner like that. And then you came along. And you, of course, you didn't want to just talk once a week. What did you want to do?
Every day, darling. 5 days a week. I'll give you the weekends off.
I was like, seriously? What kind of accountability does that mean? Where you're going to talk to somebody every single day? And I think structure was really important for us, and being really upfront about things. So we talk business, and then we kind of ask permission if we want to talk about something personal.
Yeah.
And I think that's really fantastic, because you do become friends as you become accountable to each other.
Yeah. And we have big time.
Mm-hmm.
Very close friends to it. And I think we were probably like friends, like meant to be friends in the accountability piece to brought us together, maybe.
Yeah.
Right. I love this. So I want to share a little thread that I'm feeling that's woven between all of these experiences, is that you have chosen accountability, it feels like, in times where you want to master something.
Yes. Yes.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. So I love that. I'd love to, maybe we could chat a little bit about like what are the things in our lives, right, that we can master? Because I got some ideas. But what are the things in life, right, that we can master through accountability? Like, what do you feel like? What are some of the things, for example, for you in your own life, but even working with all the clients you've worked with, what do they really want to master? Because I know you work with a lot of high performing individuals, right? And so they care about mastery. So I'm just curious, like, what do they really want to master?
Yeah. So things that come to mind are people that want to master a particular skill. So my athletes, my musicians, my high performers in anything, like they need to take something to the next level. And sometimes you just need some accountability in there, or it's easy to fall back in the old patterns down here. If you're going to be doing something up here, it's different. So what do you need to put in place to help you get there? So I'm thinking of some athletes. It's a really easy one to see. So some of the athletes, I'm not the only personal coach they'll put in their life. They'll put in a trainer, a personal training, a nutrition coach. Sometimes it's like 3 or 4 people that they're holding themselves accountable to. They're investing money into, because they know if they don't do that, they'll screw up their diet. It's just not enough discipline, self-discipline. So being held accountable because you're actually investing in coaching, that's huge. That's a piece that I see quite a bit. And
so it's like their health, their mind, they want to master.
You take a look, like, what are the pieces I need to put in place in order to do this?
Yeah.
What don't I have? Where do I need support? And sometimes it's hard for high achievers and people who are, real action chicks like us have a lot of bandwidth. We can do a lot of things. It's hard for us to ask for help. It's hard for us to, like when you reached out and said, I want you to be accountability partner, that's That's pretty gutsy to just, you didn't know me.
Not know you. And what I would say is I felt it and I went for it. Right. And that's the thing about, I think a lot of people who are trying to high achieve, they might feel something, but they don't go for it because the mind gets in the way. And so, I'd love to speak a little bit about my own experience around accountability and how it links into what you're saying.
Yes.
Because, thank you. I love you, girl. I'm glad you're my accountability partner. I'm glad we speak 5 days a week. And
Having fun.
Yeah. I'm seeing you in a different way, so I got to put you in gallery view. Oh, there we go. Okay. So I believe accountability starts within. It's the body. I can't stress it enough. And it's like, I'm so grateful for the work you do, Elle, because you help people take care of their body. Once they take care of their body, they take care of their mind, they take care of their energy, then they can take care of their business, their career, their people, whatever. But accountability for me, I've been in spaces where I wanted to master things like, everything from being in, T-ball as a kid to cheerleader in high school. I wanted to always like reach the top position. And so I'm a high achiever at its finest, and that's why we're friends, baby. So, because Elle here, if you guys knew all the things she's done in her life and she's still doing and gonna do, you guys would be like, what? And so I love high achievers who can be just chill and calm. I've learned how, right? You've learned how. So it's so cool. So what I would say is, I spent then years in graduate school, right? We've both done grad school. You really have to be accountable for yourself because nobody's holding your hand telling you to do your homework and write that paper and blah, blah, blah. Like you need to get her done. If you're a teacher, if you're a coach, if you're anything, you have to be accountable. If you're your own a solopreneur, it's all you, baby. Right? And so, yeah, like there's a lot of, times in my life where I've wanted to become more in mastery of a particular area of my life. So accountability, getting coaches, getting mentors, getting colleagues, practicing every day, showing up every day, showing up twice a day, 3 times, 4 times sometimes if you need to, right? Like really like the path to mastery is not walked alone.
That's true. Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
And so that's why, and this is a different way of thinking. A lot of people in class might think, I just need to stay at it by myself. No, get people around you who believe in your vision, support you, want to lift you higher up, even see more for you. Like my coaches, my mentors, the coaches we've worked with, Elle, right?
Yes.
They see more for us.
They do.
Yeah. And so it's because of that accountability and the showing up consistently, right? That's how we get to be more in mastery and be in the middle of it and work toward it. And then, and that's what we want, right? It's not for everybody, but for those people in the world who want to master their businesses, their relationships, their bodies, their stress, their minds, right? Violin, yoga, hula hooping, whatever, the best bird watcher in the world, like whatever you want to master, it's, you could do it on your own, or you could get some support from others and mastery comes way faster. Mm-hmm. So back to the body. I believe if you choose to master your body, which includes your posture, your breath, pressure-free, learning how not to let stress hormones get in your body, like what Elle offers. When you really master your body, right? I believe self-love, the first step is the body. What do you put into your mouth? How are you moving your body, right? Yeah. What are you allowing on your skin and around you, right? So people say they love themselves. I can see otherwise. The body shows everything.
The body does show. Yeah.
Right? So I moved to Denver in 2014 because I physically felt love for myself for the first time. Blew me open, heart chakra opening. I didn't even know what chakra was. Heart chakra was probably at the time. Maybe I did. But I wasn't in tune with my own. And then I came, I left my career, came to Colorado. And what I learned through what was called Sri Daiva at the time was a lifestyle practice, but now it's called bowspring, right? The bowspring practice. Their tenets were three things. The pillars were accountability, mindfulness, and compassion. And mindfulness was about the mind, compassion was about the heart, and accountability was about the body. And accountability comes first. Have to be accountable for thyself, right? And this blew me open, because what happened was, once I started to be accountable for my own self, my own body, my own then thoughts, what I was thinking, what I was feeling, I no longer was in victim mode. I was becoming more and more empowered. I'm in control of my energy. I'm in control of my body. I'm in control of my mind. I was able to find massive forgiveness for the people in my past who have harmed me. I was able to see my own role in places where I had harmed people, right? Huge, huge. So taking accountability for the feelings that I had, for the hurt that I felt, taking accountability for the hurt that I have caused in other people's lives, right? So once I started taking care of the body, I started realizing all of the things. I got over it. I was no longer a victim, way more empowered. And then all of a sudden things started to open up for me, right? Not only healing. I used to be on blood pressure medicine for like 5 years, really high blood pressure, you guys. I was a firecracker, y'all. Imagine me like asleep, eating meat and drinking all the time. That's crass over here. You don't need that, right? Accountability did it. What are you putting in your mouth, right? What's your energy state, right? What are you thinking about people? Be accountable for your past actions. Be accountable for now, right? Change my life. So what's neat, and what I'll say now, is that things still happen. Like there are people that are mean to me sometimes. And I'm actually mean to people sometimes. I told Elle the other day, I go, Elle, I'm sorry about something I did last year. I was a little sassy. Can I tell it? Is it okay?
Yeah, go ahead. You can tell it.
Okay. So this is me being accountable. I waited like a whole year.
Right.
I'm working on it. So I said, we were at the grocery store getting groceries for our retreat last year in Michigan. We're both leaders. We're both strong women. She goes up to grab the cart and I go, I got it. And I know it's like so simple. I don't even know if she really remembers.
I don't really remember, but.
Right. She doesn't really remember. But in the moment, I knew it was hurtful. The way that I did it, the energy that I brought forward. I just want to cry, girl. I can feel my belly a little bit. Because I love you. Right? I love you. I don't, the last thing I want to do is harm you in any way. And so I was like, a year later, apologizing for something I did, because, you know, I understand accountability and I keep realizing it's kind of like a hanging chat inside of me. Like I need to share, like, hey, I was a little sassy and bossy that day. I'm sorry.
If you're still ruminating on it, then you need to do something about it. Like those ruminations take you out. They take you away from where you want to go. And so many of us loop at night. Around and around in those ruminations that are not helpful. They're not helpful.
And one of my biggest fear in our relationships is what? In our relationship.
Oh, that you'd hurt me. Yeah.
So I've been ruminating, but this is fascinating. I'm just gonna be real, right? This is accountability at its finest, and we're talking about it. My accountability partner, I'm being accountable for my emotions. I've been ruminating on this for a year because I'm so scared of hurting this woman. Isn't that funny? Isn't that funny? I'm like, well, maybe she knew. Maybe she didn't know. I don't know. I should probably.
Now, I want to back this up. This is really great because pre-pressure free me, if you had grabbed the cart away from me like you did, I would have been hurt, very hurt. And I would have shut down or been very angry and like, no, I've got it. Like, we would have been literally fighting over the cart in the grocery store. I would have gone aggressive because it's like, who is she to tell me not to push the cart around? Get your own cart, you know, like I would have come up with something. But pressure free has changed me so much that way. And I know that in my past, I have bullied people. I've been bossy. I've been bitchy. And it's because once you've triggered fight or flight, those are the behaviors that come out. If you tend toward aggressiveness, if you're a leader, you tend to go that way. If you go that way, people cannot trust your emotional reactions. They can't trust you. They cannot trust you, which is why so many people have trouble up-leveling, and they don't get promoted. They don't get to that next level, whatever that is because there's a lack of trust because of those behaviors that we exhibit when we go under the line.
Yeah. I love that. Because what's neat about the pressure-free method too, and I've been working with Elle for several years now, and there's still room to grow, right? It's fascinating, like so many people I meet there, they're like, you're just so grounded, right? And I have my times where I'm off. And usually when I'm off, right? It's like
we do, yeah. And you know it now. More
importantly,
I know,
that's what I was about to say. That's the best thing. It's like once you know the pressure-free method, once you understand the way your body works, back to the body, back to accountability, know what this thing's doing. Don't rely on somebody else to tell you. Like feel it yourself. That's what's neat about what Elle does. Both of us, it's like we help you feel your body. Know what your toes are doing. Know what your belly's doing. Know what your brain and your body and how they work together. Yeah. Because there's nothing wrong with you. Like there's nothing wrong with this. Sometimes we think like for example, when we trigger, when we get to that aggressive place or we get sad or take things personal or whatever, it used to be like a sucky place to be. Okay. Mm-hmm. Now it's just the place that I am if I'm there. I'm aware of why. Like if I've triggered, I know. So then any sort of wonky things going on, like I'm feeling aggressive or sad or take things personal, anything like that, I know it's because I'm like you say, under the line. Mm-hmm. I got literally, I've drugged myself with my own thoughts, exactly. Right? Like that's just the truth. And so mm-hmm. I love that we're being so open. I'm being so open about this and vulnerable kind of right about this experience. But the thing is like, we're here to talk about accountability. And accountability is really like, can you be yourself all the time as much as you can possibly be? And the only way to do it is to learn how to be in the body, get out of the head, ego mind, and learn how to be in it without stress hormones.
Right. That's right. Because when you're under the line, when you've triggered the fight or flight stress response, that's not the real you. That's you on those drugs that you've released inside your body. That's you in your reptile brain. You're not even using your whole brain. You're not. You can't. So it's so cool when you start to tap in and you, like you said, how you can recognize that. And I want to share a tool right now in this moment, because when you do trigger fight or flight, we're human. It's going to happen. The unexpected is going to hit. Something's going to go down. Like when Zoom went down on me yesterday, I really had to protect myself. But something's going to happen. And so one of the things that, Lila, you pointed out so great is that the thoughts that can come after that can be real detrimental. Like, oh, I can't believe how stupid I am. Oh, I can't believe I did that. Oh, really bad thoughts. So the thing I have, one of my tools for recovery, once you've triggered, is cut yourself a break. You're a human being. We make mistakes. It's going to happen sometimes. And just cut yourself a break. Be your own best friend. We are not our own best friends. In fact, I was just writing for my 365-day course, I was writing about if you had a transcript of every thought you had this week, what would it reveal to you? Are you being nice to yourself? Or are you being crappy to yourself? Like, what is actually happening in there? What would the transcript look like if you could not get emotional about it, but just actually dispassionately read all the words that go through your brain in a week's time? My guess is probably 80% of it is crappy and 20% of it is good. And we need to reverse that. And I remember when you and I worked with the same coach, Mary Andros, for several years. And in one of her sessions, she said something that I repeat to myself often. And she goes, you're really great at honoring, something along these words. You're really great at helping others, being of service, blah, blah. But are you honoring your word to yourself? Huh.
Huh.
The answer was no. Not all the time.
Yeah.
So that's like what you're saying about being accountable to yourself, to your body, what you eat, what you think, what you take in, what you put on your skin, what you breathe, like all the things, because they all have repercussions. All of that has a repercussion. Are you honoring your word to yourself?
Yes, I love this because can I give an example of like what my clients deal with?
Yeah.
So this is a perfect example, and this may be, if you have a business or not, you'll understand this on some level, I believe. You may say you deserve something. You may say, I deserve to have a business. I deserve to have a lot of clients. I deserve to have a lot of revenue. I deserve to have a great love life. I deserve to be fit and energized. Right? There's like this sense of like, you think it, or you know it, or you want something.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And I see a lot of times people like just struggling in getting it. Getting the clients, creating the wealth, having the love life, you know, having the fit energy you want, right? Having that up level, like you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
And I really believe the gap starts in the accountability. It's like nobody outside of you is gonna do it for you, boo boo. Like that's just the truth, and that's what I'm saying. I want to get real here. So I literally am like, you got to start number one with the body, number two with the, it doesn't have to be this. It's not stepwise. I'm just gonna make a list. Number one with the body, number two with the mind, number three with the energy. And so if you don't have one of those lined up, like your energy is wonky, you're nervous because you triggered stress hormones.
Right.
Right. If you can't get in your body because you're always thinking, right? If you're shoving Twinkies down the throat, right? If you're letting energy, like people like energy vampire sucker people into your life, or if you're being one of those people, right?
Right. Yeah.
All that mind, body, energy stuff, it's like that's the underpinning of everything you want or don't want in life. And so I would say like, and I'm just kind of like being super real, like kind of like, we're soft sometimes, but we got to be real sometimes too. It's like,
yeah, absolutely. That's part of
if you want
coaching.
something different, if you want something different, it's up to you. Now, what we believe in big time is don't do it alone. You got to do it, but don't do it alone. Get some people who believe in you, like get some coaches, get some mentors, get some accountability partners. But with that, be accountable. How many times have we had accountability partners that didn't show up?
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, next, until I find somebody like you.
I want to dig into this a little because I was just sharing about accountability with my business book club, and they wanted to know about how you and I work. How does that work? Because so many people do start out, like you make an invitation to somebody, say, hey, can we be accountability partners? And you start, but then this one woman shared how she called and called and called and never got the answer. You're like just got left high and dry with this accountability relationship. And so I love what you said. Try a new person. Don't give up. There's someone in this universe. And now we have this. You can connect to somebody across the globe who has your same vision, who wants to do what you want to do. And you can connect in, have a conversation, see if it's a good fit. Be super honest. You and I were super honest when we began this journey together. Tim and I, same thing, like super honest about how we wanted to do our work together. And, sometimes there's a season. So you might have an accountability partner for 6 months or a year. One coach was having people that I know was having people switch their accountability like every few months, switch their partners up,
I've had accountability partners for maybe a year, year and a half, something like that, and then change things up. And Elle and I actually just changed because I moved to the mountains.
Mm-hmm.
We're same accountability partners, but different time. Right? We pushed our call back an hour because the sun comes up a little later here because of the mountains. So
and I figured that out because you kept like normally Lila's way up and rocking and ready to go, but it wasn't happening. And so I grew up in the mountains. I know what that is like when you're down in the valley and the mountains are high, the sun comes up later. And so, I had this one little bunkhouse at our lake house where I could have slept way, and I'm an early bird, but I could have slept way in just because it was so dark and cozy. The sun wasn't up yet. So I just asked you, do you want to push it an hour? And so we did.
And we did, and it's been so fun. I'm grateful for that. Thank you. Appreciate that.
I'm actually getting up earlier now, which is bizarre, but
love it. When I call her, I'm like, hey, she's like, hey, I'm seeing all the animals in Western Michigan this morning. I'm like, wow. Because she's like Ace Ventura, you guys, like the animals just like come to her. Like she doesn't have to go to the animals, they just come to you.
Okay, so here's another accountability piece. Sometimes you'll join a coaching program that's a group. And right now in Michigan, birds are flocking together for the winter. So while I was talking to Lila, a huge tree had fallen across a little bridge in the nature center. And at the same time, I was in a flock of robins. Robins flock together this time of year, and many of them do not go south. They actually flock deep into the woods and stay there. This is a group of about 20 robins. And then a little earlier, I saw a group of 30 goldfinch coming together for support during the winter, like coming together. So you can have, that idea of a group helping you out also can be really a great part of accountability. But I really think that if you really want to up-level something, you've got to find someone that you can go one-on-one, make a commitment. How long are you going to talk? What is your focus? How are you going to structure your little call so that you don't feel abused by the other person? You got to make it work for you. And I think it's totally fine to go personal, just ask, right? Especially when you're first starting out. Because I know some people have said to me, well, I had this accountability partner, but all they wanted to talk about was their divorce, or all they wanted to talk about was this or that, and that doesn't work.
That does not work, darling. That does not work. You must stay, have an agreement, like you said, about what you want to do, and then stay within that and honor the other person, right? Within that agreement. Honor yourself, right? Stay accountable to the agreement.
That's right. Yeah. So honor your word to yourself, honor your word to your accountability partner. And like Tim and I, we spent, I don't know, a few months with one main thing that both of us wanted to get better at. And that's the first thing we asked is, okay, how did you do with this thing, right? Mm-hmm. It was so cool. It was really cool. So I don't know, it's just incredible. You don't have to be in a silo. You don't have to be all by yourself. And I think too, I've coached several network marketing people in a network marketing company, or they're trying to build a business on the side because things are so tough right now, especially.
Yeah.
And it's so great if you can find another person to be accountable to, like how many phone calls did you make, like all those kinds of things.
Yeah.
And just know that someone else cares about what you're trying to do. Really, don't be afraid to reach out. And what's the worst thing can happen? I told her no, right?
I was rejected, y'all.
I said, no, I already have an accountability partner.
So get another one. No, I wasn't that bold. I probably said something like, you can have two. I don't know.
Well, actually, I did have two at that point, a Tim and Heather, and but they were both weekly. But you said, no, I'm talking about every day. And that's the thing that was just kind of like, oh, every day.
I want mastery in my business. That's the truth. I want to become better and better and better until I'm known as the person to go to when you need help. Right? Like you're the person to go to when you got stress issues. Period.
By the way, we have huge, huge dreams for what we're trying to do for people, like really big, because we super care. The things that Lila has helped me with and the things I've seen her help her clients with, just phenomenal. And when we coach and retreats together, you know, just watching what happens for people, it's just, you know, we're going to launch something, aren't we?
We're going to talk about it. Yeah. And it's like, you know, what I teach a lot of people, when you value yourself, right? When you really value yourself, your body, when you're accountable, when you're compassionate, when you're mindful, really value yourself, your body, you'll be valued. You'll create more wealth. You'll create more, you know, beautiful relationships, right? You'll more opportunities will come to you. Life gets easier. So it's like, you know, I get so soapboxy about this, but it's like so many people know they're worth more. I'm not talking money here.
Right.
I'm talking about your energy, like the feeling of lightness and joy and creation and fun, and right. A lot of people know that, but they're not living it.
Yeah.
So the show is called, you know, the Lila and Elle show. Beautiful conversations, bringing your brilliance to life. And we really believe if you get accountability, right, and we're going to talk about what we've got to offer here in a second for y'all, but bring that accountability into your life and your brilliance, right, will start to shine. It's inevitable.
Right.
Yeah. I'm grateful because before, you know, I had an accountability partner and coaches and mentors and all of that. I was still trying to figure out on my own. I had figured out the body piece, but I couldn't figure out the business piece, right? I went through lots of body training programs, started teaching all of that. And then I started being accountable for my body and my feeling state and all of that. But then I needed next level help with business stuff, right? And so got coaches and mentors and been in masterminds and have you as a partner and all of that, right?
Yeah. And actually, I had never been to a retreat until I came and did some coaching at one of yours. I had never been to one. So we've both done things that we've never done before. And we've both launched into some pretty amazing things together. And so we are putting together something that could be great for you. And you want to share what we're going to do?
Yeah. Is it September?
It is September 13th.
September 13th is a Sunday. We're doing a full day online retreat for you to get ready for your week, for you to get ready for the fall, and for you to get really ready for 2021, right? Yes. And so the retreat's going to be, we've done it before, and it's been really impactful and successful for people who have attended. And so we want to offer it again, like many of our mentors offer their experiences over and over and over, so you can go deeper and deeper and deeper. So if you've done this with us before, you're invited to do it again, because we're going to take you deeper, number one. And if you've never done it with us, if this is for you, especially if you're the kind of person who needs some more accountability, you need to, we're going to do some body work. I'm going to teach you some posture, how to walk, sit, stand. And we're going to do some exercises, how to elevate your energy, your vibration faster to attract what you want, right? And then Elle is going to bring in the pressure-free method, teach you lots of tools. Elle, do you want to speak a little bit more about what the day is going to look like? Also, in terms of, we have a lot of fun, right?
We do have a lot of fun. I think one of the most beautiful things we do is that we use something on Zoom called breakout rooms. So we'll be coaching and working, and then every once in a while we'll pose a question or something for you to go deeper with just one other human. And what we love when we do live retreats, but also when we do these online retreats, is we want you to build your friend base. We want you to find like-minded friends. So when you get to be like in a little group, it was so cool what happened last time. 2 artists ended up together in the same group, totally different ages and genders and everything. And it was just like so cool. So we will be doing these little breakout groups so you can go really deep on something. Then we'll come all back in together, do some sharing. So during my portions, I really like to do that. That just, I think, really solidifies for you the chance to express yourself one-on-one with someone and maybe uncover something really important for you.
Yeah, that's a great point, because we're going to do some group teaching, some deep dive work, allow you to be seen fully. This is also a really important event for you if you are stuck, right? You feel stuck, you feel overwhelmed, you feel confused, like you want to move forward in something, but you're kind of not sure like how, or it's been hanging. I like to say like the hanging chad. It's like the thing you want to move forward in, and you've been wanting to move forward in, and you haven't been able to move forward in it. Like, let's talk. Let's see if this event's for you, because her and I are, we are the ones, right, to be able to get you past those blocks, those stuck, confused, overwhelmed kind of feeling like, oh, I just want to get this going. So that you can make that happen. And this is the perfect time of the year, as we're like in back to school season. It's like you can kind of let go of that old summer season feeling of maybe being, in the weeds or being overwhelmed or anything, and then step into like a whole new season, a whole new fall season, right, of expression for yourself. Really
beautiful. Yeah. So we will be putting information on both of our pages so that you can see if this is a good fit for you. We would love to have you with us. It's we deliver in a really beautiful way, and yeah. So.
And message us, like if you're, we're going to put some stuff up on our page, but then send us a message to either one of us or both of us, and say, hey, like, what's it all about? Is this for me? And we'll figure out if it's a right fit for you or not too. And if you have friends, we've got a friend special as well. So if you're like, hey, I want to do it, can you give me a discount? Of course, bring a friend. We'll help you guys both out. No pressure, but we'll help you guys both out. And then, see, there's one more thing coming up for it, Elle, I want to share.
Your retreat?
Something about this retreat. I felt something else coming up, so I wanted to share. There's something here. What I would say is, if you aren't sure what you want 2021 to look like, let's talk. I feel like this event will help you a lot.
So if you've been feeling really confused about anything future oriented, please come, because we really want to support you and help you. It's definitely a changing time for so many of us, and we get it, and we want to help you. So yeah. All right. Well, all right.
Love you, accountability partner. Love you guys. All you guys out there, thank you for watching. Thank you for, considering accountability for yourself. A little piece of homework. Use the tools that Elle said, be easy on yourself, right?
Cut yourself a break.
Cut yourself a break. And for me, I want to say, start to pay attention to how you're holding your body. Start to pay attention to the food you're putting in your mouth, and start to pay attention to the energy around you, what are you surrounding yourself, and if you need some help, come to a retreat. We'll shift it for you. We'll help you shift it. Bye, Elle. I love you.
Bye.